Hi, my name's Hayley Edwards. I joined the Air Force not long after I finished high school and was enlisted as a medic in the Air Force around 1999 and was one of the first people to do the basic medical assistant course in Australia, which was the first tri-service medics course in Australia where Army, Navy and Air Force were all banded together to do a tri-service course. I joined the Air Force as a medic and I served 4 years in the Royal Australian Air Force, and part of my service and my job overview was providing emergency medical care to ADF personnel, and not only ADF personnel but civilians in high conflict situations and in times of need around Australia and overseas. So during my service, I was part of Operation Bali Assist, which was on the air medical evacuation team that went over for the terrorist attack at Bali, which is coming up to the 20th year this year. And during that time, it was the wounds and the injuries sustained by civilians in Bali was horrific, and leading on from that I wanted to extend my knowledge, so I studied to be a paramedic after that incident and eventually left the Air Force and became a fully qualified paramedic with Ambulance Victoria, and I was a qualified paramedic there for 6 years. Some of the highlights for me during my journey in the Air Force was the initial training. I still remember that to this day, how intense it was, and rocking up to training and wanting to turn around and go straight back home. But I'm really glad I did, and I learned so much. It gave me so many skills and developed me into the person I am today. So the initial training was really worthwhile, and I learnt so much, and the friends I made in that initial training I still have today. So I'm very, very lucky. Another memorable moment was completing my aeromedical evacuation course at RAF Base Richmond, and that was a really intense course, and I learnt so much about aeromedical evacuation, emergency medical care and pre-hospital care, and that has been a skill that I've used later on in my career when I finally became a qualified paramedic. One of the most significant moments for me as a medic in the Air Force was when I was called up to attend the Bali bombings in October in 2002. So I got the call and was told to report to duty, and I wasn't sure when I was going to be home next, and then realised that we were on a plane heading to Bali after the terrorist attacks at Denpasar in Indonesia. When I got there, the wounds and the injuries sustained to civilians was horrific, and the impact on that moment in time has really had follow-on effects throughout my life, and I'm just really proud to have been able to have the opportunity to render assistance to those in need. And funnily enough, I was treating people that were the same age as me that had not long turned 21, and 2 hours ago they were partying in Bali, and the next minute where they're saving their life. So that has had a profound impact on my life, and I'm just really proud of the Australian Defence Force, and specifically the Air Force, and their response to Operation Bali Assist. Another highlight for me as a medic in the Air Force was being on the very first tri-service basic medical assistance course. So that means that there were medics from the Air Force, Navy and Army all doing the same course. So we got to learn a little bit about each of the uniqueness of each individual service, and got to learn a little bit about what it would be like to be an Army medic or a Navy medic, and they got to learn a little bit what it's like to be an Air Force medic. So that was a fantastic experience, working with people from all the services, and this was conducted on Latchford Barracks at Albury-Wodonga, and being on an Army barracks was also a very incredible experience coming from Air Force Base. So that was something that was really valuable to my career. As I've gotten older, I'm 41 now, the significance of the service that I did all those years ago, or 20 years ago, has impacted my life, and I am so proud to have put my hand up to serve. And at the time of service, I didn't really realise how significant that would be, and now I look back, I just get prouder every year that I was able to serve our country, and I highly recommend it to anyone wanting to get involved and put your hand up and meet some incredible people. My colleagues that I met back in '99, I'm still friends with today, and their professionalism and dedication to our country is just next to none. And I have so much time for veterans and the ADF. During my time as a medic, there were definitely some huge challenges I faced, both personally and professionally. And when I look back now, that has built a lot of resilience in myself, and my family support is what really got me through those times. And that has set me in good stead for the career that I've progressed in my life afterwards as well. So nothing in life worth it is easy, and that includes serving your country. So is it worth it? Absolutely.